Well, happy Friday to everyone. I am back in Detroit, Michigan. I am no longer in sunny California. And happy Friday to everyone. Today we celebrate several saints. Two in particular. There is, I believe, Dionysius of Alexandria, who was like a second century saint from Alexandria in Egypt. And then we have Saint Elizabeth of Hungary, who was more 13th century. Um, Reason why I think Elizabeth is relevant to us today, oftentimes we think those medieval saints just don't have relevance for us today. Well, the church in America is primarily funded via benefaction. We are not a church that receives, money from the state, but it's private Catholics that give to the church, that give to the mission of the church. And Elizabeth kind of is that person that lived in the medieval times who really gave, who was a person of means. What do we say? Give time, talent, and treasure. And if you're a person that can give all three, that's great. If you're a person that gives that treasure, Elizabeth is one of those saints that maybe you can ask for her intercession to discern how your treasures, how your funds can be used for the greater mission of Holy Mother Church. We're living in a time where there is great need throughout everywhere, but that we really need people to help fund this beautiful divine mission. It's a divine mission. It's not from us. It's a divine mission. It's from Jesus Christ himself to fund this divine mission. Which leads me to the gospel. Today we see Jesus talking about those that were given up to dance and sing and marry, and even up right before Moses, right before the big flood, and at Sodom and all these other places. And yet there will be a time when we will not. The early church, they said this was the last epic of the church, that this was the time that Christ, the messianic time, the time that the Messiah was going to come back. Now, St. Paul, from his writings, it sounded like it was going to happen pretty early, but clearly it's been 2,000 years. But there's something to say about that. Jesus isn't saying, hey, don't give in to marriage, don't go and dance and sing and all that. No, that's not what he's saying, because clearly, what did he do? His first miracle, at least first recorded miracle, was changing water into wine at Cana. And I'm sure after some good wine, they danced a lot, right? But it's to go deeper into him, to understand who we are as human beings created in his image and his likeness, and also understanding our sin that we have within us, and how Jesus liberates us and brings us to a deeper peace and joy in him. But there's also the second part to that we are to give ourselves over to the mission. Now, I've seen movies about the rapture and this, that, and the other, and I'm not really a theologian. I'm just honestly trying to get by pastor or priest in solidum. So I don't know how to explain the rapture. But I do think there's something to say that when our lives are completely given over to the Lord Jesus and to the mission that he's entrusted us to, that there will be a certain reward, if you want to say, for those that have given up their everything for him. And I'm not just talking about those who are priests or religious, but I'm saying from your heart, that you've really given your heart over to the mission of Jesus Christ here on earth, as we find in the Catholic Church. I really do believe that there will be a certain reward present for those. So if you're discerning what is the mission that Jesus is asking of you, think of how you can use your time, talent, and treasure, and ask for the intercession of Saint Elizabeth of Hungary, who didn't waste time, but gave all three to the mission and the good of the church, to the glory of God. Have a blessed weekend. Peace.